Hi Ecology Lab. This is the first in a series of videos where I'll walk you through using R. We're going to use R, the program for statistical computing. We're going to use it for a lot of our data analysis and making graphs in lab this semester. So in this video I'm going to show you basically how you download R and get it running on your computer. This will work whether you have a PC or a Mac, or if you're running Windows or Linux or any kind of Mac OS, you should be able to run R. And then we're going to use a program called RStudio to help us sort of work with R in a more fluid and easier way. Okay, so step one is we got to install R. So go to your favorite web browser and go to your favorite search engine and just type the letter R. And the first thing that should come up is right here, the R Project for Statistical Computing. So go to that website, and basically on the first page here, you just click this link that says to download R, and it'll take you to a page where you have some options. So the first thing you have to do is decide which mirror site you're going to download from. So there's many sites around the world where you can download R and different packages, different sorts of things that go with R. So just choose something that's geographically near you. So we're in Colorado, so down here in USA, let's say University of Kansas. Lawrence, Kansas isn't too far away, so I'll click that as my mirror site. And then you come to this page, and then download and install R is your first option. So just download the one for your operating system if you're running Linux or Mac or Windows, and then follow the instructions and install it just like you would any other kind of software. Now the other thing you'll need, well, when you do that, here's what R looks like. So I've installed R, and I click on my thing, and this is what pops up. I've got an older version. I haven't updated. The newest version I think is 4.0.2, but it doesn't matter for our purposes. And this is what happens. You get this screen where absolutely nothing happens until you do stuff. And with R, you can do all sorts of things, right? It's a calculator. 2 plus 2, R gives you 4, right? Big whoop. More importantly, you can assign variables in R, right? So I can make a variable called x, and I use this, the assignment operator, which is the less than and hyphen. And I can put things in that variable, right? So now I have a variable called x, and it contains 2 plus 2. So if I just put x, it returns 4, right? You can do, of course, way more complicated things. There's a number of what we call packages that you add on, and you can do all sorts of things. However, it's not really very good practice to just type things right in what we call the R console. Right? This is basically R. You put commands in here, and it'll do things and give you results. It can make plots too. But it's poor practice to do that. What you really want to do is type your code. So you can have a block of code that tells R to do things. And it's best to put those in a text editor. Right? And you put them in a text editor, then you can send the text over to R, and R will execute the commands. And the reason you do that is it's easier to save these text files and archive them if you want to use them again. It's easier to edit them in a more friendly environment and so on. So you're not just kind of working on the fly. It's an easy way to sort of lose your work or make mistakes. So although you'll need this, you need to install R on your computer, we're going to install another program called RStudio. And so you can just Google RStudio, and it'll be the first thing that comes up. This is open source software, which means it's free, or at least there's free versions here. And so let's see if we go under products here and RStudio, RStudio for desktop is what you want, and download RStudio desktop. Okay, choose your version. You just want the free version here. We don't need some kind of corporate or server version. And you go to download, and then you can download the version for your machine, Windows, Mac, or Linux. There's many different versions depending on what operating system you're running. Again, follow the instructions and install it the way you would any other software. Now, what does RStudio look like? Well, RStudio is pretty cool. When we open this up, I have sort of multiple windows, multiple panels open. And basically what this does is down here in the lower left, this is their R console. Just like I had open before, I can type commands in here and R will do them, right? 2 plus 2, and it's going to give me 4, right? We can see that down there. But more importantly, in this upper left window, this is my text editor, and I can save files and open files and run things. So over here, I have a file called, in my lower right window, it shows me what files I have in that folder. And it can show me, plots if I make graphs. Up here in the environment, I can have, different variables and things I create. So it's a really good way to stay organized. So I'm going to open this file called colors bar chart. This is some code that my 6-year-old son and I worked on. So in his class, in his kindergarten class, he surveyed the class of 22 students and, what's your favorite color? And so we basically, we had blue, green, red, and yellow as the favorite colors. And we had, 10 students that said blue, 6 students that said green, 4 that said red, and 2 that said yellow. So we wrote up this code, and you don't have to worry too much about what it is. We wrote up this code to make a graph. And so we formatted our graph. So let's see. So if I can send each line of code down to my R console and run it by just hitting Alt and Enter. And so that goes down here. And in the data window here, we see we have a variable called favorite color. There's 4 observations and 2 variables. And actually, if I type down here, if I type favorite color and hit return down here, R returns this data frame that I have, this little 2-column thing here, favorite colors, and they're all listed, and then the number of students that of each one. And then over here, if I have the second line of code, hit Alt Enter, it makes a plot. It pops up over here in my plot window, right? So RStudio helps you get organized. The other thing you might be asking yourself is, well, I installed RStudio and it doesn't look as cool as John's RStudio. His is all like dark mode. Yeah, one of the first things you should probably do when you open up RStudio, you go over here to Tools and Global Options, and then Appearance, and you can change all of these. There's all sorts of different themes, and so you want to look like a hacker, right? So you want to pick a cool dark mode theme or something and get going with RStudio that way. So anyway, do that. Download RStudio. And just get them running on your computer. In another video, I'll show you how to make the first graph from Lab 1, where we have that histogram of conifer needles.